What's going on, Assassins? It's Darkstrider, and I gotta tell you, this movement to either cancel or oppose the cancellation of Assassin's Creed Shadows, it just keeps getting wilder and wilder by the day. Now, the reason that I'm covering this, besides the whole drama of it, I'm trying to get my finger on the pulse of this. Like I told you guys, to me, it's just a video game, but apparently to other people, it's like way more. And I really do want to understand you. I'm not trying to diminish your feelings or anything. I want to understand, you know? That's the whole point of these discussions. That's the whole point of debate. And I got to tell you right now, there are people that are coming for this dude who started this petition. It is wild. So, one of the first things that I saw when I was looking at like the comments, I figured these are people that are agreeing with his petition, and there are some things in there where people are like, yeah, it's just a game, or I want to play this game. I don't understand why people are crying about this. Somebody else and a couple of other people who are actually Japanese have come out, and they have put on this whole thing everything from the time that you plant rice to like when cherry blossoms pop and all kinds of things like that. Obviously a lot to do with like their culture and everything, how like they just really messed up a lot of stuff, everything down to like mats. Okay, so being from the West, it may seem insignificant to us, but for them over there in Japan, this is a big deal. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, if it's a traditional thing, if it's like a religious thing, maybe you shouldn't be messing around with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Seasonal stuff, I really can't say one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it would be really stupid to have a game take place in the United States where we're snowboarding during the summer, even though we do have mountainous regions and things like that where they actually produce fake snow, or they make their own snow and you're able to snowboard and everything. So I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Again, I'm not trying to diminish anything that they say. I'm not trying to diminish their feelings, but I do find it very interesting that they are really going in on this person and this whole like this anti-petition. So like one of the things that they're saying is that this guy, number one, like I said, it's kind of contradictory that he's talking about cancel culture, but he's doing cancel culture to cancel culture. That was, to me, that was wild. I feel like just let their petition roll. Honestly, I don't see that it's going to move the needle, in all honesty, unless they get like millions, and I'm talking millions of, if they get close to like the amount of people that bought Valhalla and they get that many signatures, Ubisoft will definitely take a second look. But as it stands, like I said, 75,000 plus signatures is not going to move the needle. Not that I, don't want them to move the needle if that's how they feel. I personally feel it's not going to move the needle. Anybody else who thinks it will, let me know your thoughts. But they go on to say that, the other main point that I kind of agree with, you're dismissing the opposing opinions as racist and denying the dialogue. So, I do agree that, if you're just looking at what somebody else is saying and just claiming that they're a racist, that is wrong. Even though I got to tell you, there are a lot of people that are just racist and they are saying racist things. And then there are people who are against it but are giving actual arguments as to why, and they're actually defending the Japanese culture and everything like that, and they're being called racist, and that's not cool. You do not call somebody a racist. That's why I'm saying It's a culture war thing, it feels like, because when we talk about racist, we throw around racist, Nazi, groomer, and those words don't seem to have meaning anymore. We just throw them, if you don't agree with me, you're a Nazi. If you don't agree with this, you're a racist. If you agree with this or don't agree with this, you're a groomer. It makes no sense. But again, this is Japanese people who are actually saying stuff like this. Obviously, they're not racist on their own country. That would be absolutely ridiculous to say. But, this person goes on and says, that it's presented as entertainment, but they feel that it's historical fact for other countries. Now, that's a statement that I've said before. I don't agree with. I don't agree that they're stating that this is historical fact unless they come flat out and say it. If they come flat out and say this is historical fact, then, we have problems. But right now, it's like entertainment. We get a bunch of stuff wrong. We don't know anything about aliens. Did we ever, go and attack anybody, now that we know a little more about aliens? Have we attacked them? Look at all the movies that took place in, like, the 70s, 80s, 90s, where they're talking about 2020, 2021. I just watched the movie, Johnny Mnemonic. I rewatched it. And in the year 2021, this man had in his head like 360 gig of memory. Like, are you kidding me right now? In 2021, for my PS3, I had 8 tetrabytes of memory for my PS3. I had like every game on that damn thing. Does Johnny Mnemonic owe me anything? Do I have to get an apology from Keanu Reeves? No. It's just, we're not going to get it right all the time. But again, if you're using religious iconography and things like that, then I fully agree. You need to leave that alone. You shouldn't be anywhere near that. If you flat out say, this is actually their culture or this is actually how they lived, that's ridiculous. Another great example, we're talking about Yasuke and like the hip hop beats that he had and everything. What about Samurai Champloo, which was an anime? And one of the guys had a b-boy samurai style. Like, he literally danced like he was about to break dance, and he did break dance. Like, was that historical fact? No, that's entertainment. Not to say that, that's any sort of a defense, but again, you got to show me where, like, they're saying this is historical fact. All right? But, again, like I said, this person, their feelings are valid, and this is how they feel. Again, they're saying that it's contrary to their correct history. They're very upset that, like, you're trying to silence the petition, which I agree with. I wouldn't silence the petition because, let them speak. Let them, have their voices heard. Honestly, if they have their voices heard, it only helps the company to make better games, or make corrections to this one. We'll see what happens. We'll see how that goes. Somebody else called him a racist for because he was creating this petition, and then somebody else said that they're doing Asian erasure. That that's what Ubisoft is doing, Asian erasure, which again I don't agree with. They only have one black guy. That one black guy was enough to erase, like, centuries of Asian culture and everything, or Japanese culture. I don't think so. I don't know. It's pretty wild. The main point of the petition, which is to stop sales, I reluctantly agree with the position calling for cancellation. I think it's necessary for this stain of insufficient research to be made public so as many people as possible can talk about it for a long time with ridicule. However, it is also sad that people who have misunderstood this game will be needlessly humiliated by incorrect information. Now, again, I stand on business. If you want to cancel the game, you want to hurt the sales and everything like that, you're more than welcome to do that. You know, the petition should stand. The petition against Ubisoft's game should stand. I don't agree with it. I'm going to play the game, you know, but it should stand. There is no reason it should not stand. There is no reason for that. I might do an anti-petition petition. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, you know, a lot of these people who are commenting, who are, you know, like of Japanese descent or actual Japanese people, are very upset with the way that this game looks, with the way that this game was created and everything like that. And, you know, honestly, if that's their feeling, that's their feeling. There are some people who are saying, what if they made a game in, you know, like Western culture, dealing with Western things, and, you know, like it never happened. It never actually happened. You know, again, for me, would not bother me if we found out that, you know, George Washington was secretly like a pimp and, you know, like all this nonsense and everything like that. It wouldn't bother me. I'd find it funny. I would know that that's not really the history, but apparently there are some people who are really would be upset about something like that. I don't know. Like, again, to me, you know the difference between history and fiction. And sometimes we tell stories that deal with fiction in history. Look at the movie Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer. Like, by no stretch of the imagination did I believe Abraham Lincoln killed vampires. Could he have? Sure. Did he? No. Absolutely not. You know, it's just a fun little campy story that they told about a historical figure. And, you know, to me, there's nothing wrong with doing stuff like that. But I want to know from people who are against this whole thing, do you really believe that this is being presented as historical fact? You know, how, and I'm being sincere. I'm not trying to, you know, do a gotcha moment or anything like that. I really want to know, do you perceive this as actual taken history? Do you think that it is just a game? What parts of this whole story, parts of the game, do you believe are actually going against your culture purposely? And I also want to know, any other video game that you've ever played that has taken place in the West or is about people from the West, do you believe that we actually act or participate in anything like that? Look at Metal Gear Solid. Look at, you know, like a whole bunch of movies that come out of the West. Do you really believe that that is how we live? Do you really believe, even current movies, even movies that deal with what's going on today, do you believe that that's what we do? Have you played any of the older Assassin's Creeds, particularly the ones that deal with like the United States, Canada, anything in the West? Do you believe that the history that you're seeing there is actually the history that we lived? And what do you think we feel about that? Do you think that we should actually go and attack Ubisoft for their discretion or their indiscretion? Same thing with anybody else from any era, any religion, any country. An Assassin's Creed game that was made in your country, near your country, dealing with your culture, do you think that that was actual fact? Do you think that they were presenting it as fact? Look at what, all the way back to the original Assassin's Creed, Altair, you know, his life, his marrying a British woman, things like that. Do you believe that that actually is the way that they want to portray your culture? Or do you think that it's just a game, they clearly got it wrong, but here we go, you know, it's just a game, it's just fiction, we know it's fiction? I would love to hear your thoughts, because the same people, and I'm looking at you, 65 Fire Red, keep coming on, and you guys You have the solid arguments. I want to hear solid arguments from other people. So lay it on me. Let me know what's going on. And also let me know if I should do an anti-protest or anti-petition. What are your thoughts? Anyway, that's all there is for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure you like and subscribe. It helps this channel out an awful lot. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And until next time, take care, be good, stay safe, take care of each other. I'll see you all in the next one.